Hi, gay. Welcome back to my channel. We're doing Trixie makeup. Hello, darlings. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dora Diamond. I'm a nationally and internationally ignored musician and drag entertainer with a love-hate relationship with makeup artistry. And today, I'm doing something I've always wanted to do. I have a chance to go see Miss Patricia Martell in her Solid Pink Disco Tour. She is doing a stop in Brooklyn, pretty close to me, so I am going to go attend. And what better way to pay homage to Miss Trixie than to attempt her makeup? And I've wanted to do this video for years. One, because she has one of the most iconic makeup looks in drag history, but two, because I have some pretty interesting tea to spill about Miss Patricia. And in true form, being really true to my nature, I'm already late. So I am going to very quickly do this makeup and talk at the same time, because that is the one example of multitasking that I am capable of. So let's get started. There's going to be so many jump cuts in this because I'm going to be looking for things and applying things while I'm talking, but that's okay. So first, I'm going to prep my skin with Alcone Stop the Sweat. It is a liquid antiperspirant used for stage makeup, and I, on the best of days, I'm a very sweaty Betty. And so I know that if I'm going to be in a dance party type of situation, that my sweat glands are going to be working overtime. It has the same stuff in it, like aluminum, whatever, that stops your sweat glands from functioning for a little bit, which is probably scary, and I'll probably end up with weird face tumors at some point during my life. But you know what? Sometimes we make sacrifices to do the things that we love, even if those sacrifices are our entire face. While I prep my face, I'm going to do a quick life update, because the last time I posted, it was in a beautiful sequin, beautifully lit, and that is obviously not the case today. So let me tell you what's been going on with my life. So firstly, in late January, I moved to New York, or rather I came to New York because I had the opportunity to stay 2 weeks in a hostel, thanks to a very kind couple of family members helping me do that, because I had a couple gigs that I wanted to honor. And during that stay, every day, I looked for housing opportunities, I looked for job opportunities all over, could not find a single thing. I was really, really scared to go back to Wisconsin. I knew that Wisconsin was just not a safe place for me anymore. I needed to be in a place that had opportunities, resources, and things like public transportation, and also a place that was a little bit better suited for people like me. At the end of my hostel stay, I was taken in by a friend who said that I could stay in their guest room while I was looking for employment. And during that time, I actually accepted a position, so yay me, love that. Shortly after, there was a pretty weird falling out between me and my friend, and he ended up kicking me out very unexpectedly. But thankfully, a transitional housing program specifically designed to help unhoused trans people had just reached out to me, and they were like, when would you like to set up a time to move in to this program? So really the best timing in the world. So good, in fact, that it almost felt like bad writing. But thankfully, I was able to stay at my cousin's house and then move into the transitional housing the next day. So that is where I am currently. It is a several-month program where I save up for permanent housing while I work. I think that's a pretty decent update. If you've been following me on social media at all for the past 6 months, I've posted about it on my TikTok several times. I do currently have a GoFundMe in place to help with things like living expenses and to help save up for housing. So if you're interested in donating to that, please feel free. If not, just enjoy the video. That's why I'm making it. Anyway, back to the face. Just because I'm a very well-prepared and just a really forward-thinking individual, I decided that I was going to try a bunch of new products today. when I'm going to be attempting a type of makeup I've never done before and going out in public, because I'm just really good at decision making. So the first product that we're going to try for the first time is the One Size Stop the Sweat Primer. I don't usually buy new makeup products for myself unless I am completely out of a product, but this was a product that I have always wanted to try because, as I mentioned previously, I consistently get very sweaty when I am in makeup, or really whenever the temperature is above like 50 degrees. So we're doing a two-pronged approach using the Alcone Stop the Sweat and the Secure the Sweat primer. One of the reasons why I wanted to make this video was because I figured one of two things are going to happen. Either the makeup is going to look so fun and it's going to be really fun to look back on, or it's going to be a huge disaster, in which case it'll still be fun to put it on the internet because it's a learning experience. Either way, pristine content. Now, Trixie said that she's able to do this look or these types of looks in an hour. And I'm a pretty efficient makeup artist when it comes to getting ready for gigs. So we're gonna try and do this quickly and hope for the best. Now, the first thing that we're going to attempt is something that I haven't done in months, which is covering my eyebrows. Now, I'm confident that I can do it, but confidence is not the issue. It's aptitude. I use Pros-Aid because I'm too sweaty for glue sticks, and it seems to be glued shut. So, I just think that's a really good sign. Just really not ominous at all. Okay. All right. It's like an archaeological dig to try to get that off, but we have it. We're good to go. Now, Pros-Aid cream has a pretty quick working time, so we're gonna see if that is going to help me or hurt me in this. Did I just have my... See, this is why, friends, if you're gonna be making YouTube content, you have to be prepared. Don't be like me, who spends the majority of the video blocking her own face in front of the camera, making the footage unpleasant and unusable. So if anything, today, darlings, use me as a cautionary tale for what not to do if you're trying to put content on the internet. Some proof that I am actually capable of retaining information and learning from my mistakes. The last time I tried to cover my eyebrows, I was not aware that Pros-Aid is a very specific formula of adhesive that needs a very specific formula of remover. So I essentially just had Pros-Aid boogers in my eyebrows for like a week. I did attempt to pull the glue off of them myself, and I was positive that I was going to lose my eyebrows. Absolutely positive. And thankfully, the universe did not punish me too harshly. But I learned. I now have Pros-Aid remover. So when I get home, I'm not going to be quite in quite as much agony. I always tried to use glue sticks for my eyebrows because they were cheaper. That being said, glue sticks never work for me because I get so sweaty and the glue is washable, so it immediately dissolves when you sweat. So it never worked for me, but I just kind of stubbornly pressed on because I was like, well, this is cheap and I know it, I'm just gonna do it. Here's the thing. I am using a giant 6-ounce tub of Pros-Aid cream. And I think the whole thing cost me like $14. Mind you, a Maybelline lipstick is $12. And like, look at her. She's gigantic. This is probably the only package of this product that I'm ever going to own. So I guess what I'm trying to say is sometimes it's better to spring for the thing that works better, even though it's a little bit more expensive. But like I said, this is not that expensive. So if you're a drag queen and you want to cover your brows, but you're scared about dropping money on Pros-Aid, I'm here to tell you, like, she is that girl. I mean, it's medical adhesive, basically. So it's how they attach prostheses in stage and screen. So it's very strong. And you can't sweat it off. Ooh. That smells, what is that? The last time I smelled something that smelled like this was when I was shadowing my dad while he was working on a plumbing project. And it smells like that solvent that you put in between PVC pipes to stick them together. And, that concerns me. But you know what? It's licensed Pros-Aid remover, so I'm sure. Uh-oh. I wonder, can you even hear me? Oh my god. This has just been muffled the whole time. I'm so good at this. I'm looking at myself at the monitor, and you look at what you're doing, you have this sort of moment of clarity, and you're like, what is my life? And the thing is, we're so early in this process. It's just about to get worse. Well, we've definitely covered them. So I think we're safe to go on to the next phase of the makeup. I'm going to sketch out the iconic Trixie liner, or at least the first iteration of it. And I'm going to be using another new, to me, product, which is the Glamlite Calligrapher eyeliner pen. And because I was looking for an affordable, waterproof, really black pen liner, and I heard really good reviews on this. And I was influenced on the TikTok shop a few months back. So let's see. Oh god. All right. It's happening. These lines are not straight or uniform at all. That's right. That's Trixie adjacent. Okay. Now we're going to try on the other side. Are those symmetrical at all? Well, if they were perfectly symmetrical, would I really be honoring Miss Trixie Mattel? You gotta have a little bit of asymmetry, just for the authenticity of the brand. I love finding out, like, in the midst of doing your makeup that, like, your face is just not naturally symmetrical at all. That's really good for the self-esteem.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it.
Okay. I mean, sure. If I look straight, you know what? We're just gonna go with it. Yeah. And we're trying out another new product to me. These are the Mehron cream blend sticks. I've never used this before, so there's a chance that I could really mess up the application of this foundation. But like I said, it's either going to be beautiful because it turned out well, or it's going to be beautiful because it's a learning process, learning journey. So we're just going to try it. Beauty ain't pretty. I'll just say that. I'm going to start by just doing a beige rainbow. All right. I don't know if I'm doing this right, but this is what I'm doing. So while I figure out this makeup situation, I'm going to tell you my first Trixie story. We have to travel back in time when a peanut farmer was in the White House. See, this is my toxic trait, is that I don't do a full face of makeup like ever. I only ever do like a statement eye and a statement lip. So when I'm in these situations where I have to actually put on cosmetics, I don't know what to do with myself. Anyway, where was I? Okay, so back in time. This would be 2013. I had just started like really consistently doing drag performance in Milwaukee. I started my drag career. I had always sang live. That's what my first show I ever did, I sang live, and every show I've done since then, I sing live. Not for any reason, like I think that singing live is better than lip syncing. It's just singing has always been more fun for me, so that's what I do. I had just started working with this local nonprofit called the Milwaukee Gay Arts Center. And I had my own variety show, and they let me do my own show at Milwaukee Pride Fest that year. I was really nervous because Milwaukee Pride Fest, it's the biggest pride festival in the state. It's one of the biggest pride festivals in the Midwest. And so even though I was going to be on a smaller stage, I was still really nervous. Because, you know, you want to do good. So I do my little variety show and I'm hosting it. It's the last show of Pride Fest weekend. And Trixie is in the audience. Now, like I said, this is 2013. So this is pre-Drag Race. This is just when Trixie Mattel was a Milwaukee girl and a well-known Chicago girl at the time. She was performing with Shea Coulee and Kim Chi. Those are the Trixie brows, kind of, right? Anyway, Trixie is in the audience. I had worked with her in the past. We had done some shows at La Cage together in Milwaukee, and I've always loved her entire vibe. She was always at a time in Milwaukee when people were urged to fit a certain aesthetic to be able to be booked. She always did her thing, and she was always true to her vision, and obviously it worked out pretty well for her. But anyway, she comes up to me after the show and she goes, "That's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Keep doing this. This is exactly what this town needs, and like, you're really doing it." And baby, when I tell you, that made me feel like the only bitch in the world. She was so affirming. And the thing is, we didn't know each other. I mean, like, we performed together, like I said, but like, we weren't, you know, we didn't hang out. It was just like, we knew of each other because of the scene. But for her to come up to me specifically, someone I admire so much, even before she became famous, and to like make a point to come up and be like, "You're doing something different and great, and I love to see it." It just, I will never forget that in my entire life, because it's just so indicative of who she is as a person. Trixie has always been the type of person to applaud the girls. To like, she's always been a supporter of Milwaukee arts, because she didn't have to come up to me and do that. She could have just enjoyed the show and have been like, "Well, that was fun." But no, she came up to me and she was like, "You're doing a great job, and this city needs what you're doing." And I just think that's so fucking cool. So I decided, because my outfit is going to be super pink and dazzly, obviously, because it's solid pink disco, I'm gonna do the classic Trixie neutral eye with like a really bright pink lip. And I recently took all of my eyeshadow palettes and consolidated them into 3 palettes, like 3 different color stories. So I don't actually know what any of these brands are anymore. I'm just kind of vibing. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna continue to vibe. I'm definitely gonna preface this is my own personal take on Trixie makeup, just because I think if I run into Trixie and tell her that this is me copying her makeup, I think she'll be personally offended. I'm going to tell you my other affirming Trixie Mattel story because it's really cute. This was probably 2021, 22. Because this was post Drag Race and post her buying and co-owning This Is It. I hadn't seen her in a while. And this was during the time that I was doing a weekly gig called Screen Queens. And so I think it was the same night. Like, it was my event and then a couple hours and then her thing. To give you proper context for this story, I have to tell you a little bit about my gender journey. So, as you all know, I am a trans woman. But some of you might not know that I don't take hormones and I haven't had any sort of surgery during my transition. I'm definitely pro that for anyone who wants to do that, but that just hasn't been a part of my gender journey. Anyway, fast forward to this party. Trixie's at the bar and I walk up and I can't remember exactly how she said it, but she said something like, she was like, "Oh my God, you look amazing. Those hormones must be really working." And I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Well, I know you transitioned recently. Those hormones are like really working out for you." And I go, "Oh, well, thank you so much. But also, I'm not on hormones." And she's like, "Wait, what do you mean?" And I was like, "No, I don't take hormones. I just changed my name and it was more of a social transition." She's like, "So that's just like your face?" And I was like, "I guess, yeah, it's just my face." And she looks me up and down and she goes, "You bitch." And I was like, "Thank you." And again, I'm not saying this to discount anyone who does take hormones or anything like that. But when someone clocks you like that, it does feel nice. Not in like a passable way, but in like a, ooh, do I look like I'm like working at this? Do I look like I've put in effort? I love that for me. So yeah, those are my 2 affirming Trixie Mattel stories. And I wanted to tell those because I just love her. I'm just so excited that like she did it. She won Drag Race, all stars, mind you, creme de la creme. And she's, this superstar. And I love her to pieces. She's just like such a decent and sweet human being. And it's like, usually the people who get famous and who get successful are like the worst people you can imagine in real life. But not Trixie. Trixie has always been a darling and an advocate and a lovely human. So I'm really excited that I get a chance to, I don't know if I'm going to be able to actually like see her tonight, like outside of just like enjoying her on stage, but I'm excited just to be able to see her on stage. Because the last time I saw her was when I was still living in Milwaukee. I love that bitch and I'm really happy for her. This is looking chunky boots. We're gonna salvage it. I just know it. We're really gonna do the Trixie Mattel tradition, going through all 7 stages of grief in the midst of putting on the makeup, and at the end, being gagged and gooped by it. I see that for us. I want that for us. It's what we deserve. Now, there is something that I wanted to say. It's probably going to be tacky to talk about, but like, I have to be real. Earlier in this video, I just mentioned the fact that I'm currently in transitional housing, and you're probably thinking to yourself, well, girl, if you're in transitional housing, why the hell are you buying these expensive tickets to go frolic and cavort? Well, I lied. I do have one more little story about Miss Trixie Mattel. I don't want to come on Beyonce's internet and lie and say like we're like besties who talk all the time. That would not be the truth. The truth is, we do sort of keep in touch every once in a while. I specifically try not to be a fangirl and like blow her up because that is cringe, and not in the free way, in like the, you know, misery, I'm your biggest fan kind of way. And I don't want that. When I found out that she was doing a New York stop in her Solid Pink Disco, I, on a whim, reached out and I was like, hey, I know we don't talk much and you don't owe me anything, obviously, so don't feel pressured, but would you be open to potentially giving me a ticket to come see you when you come to New York? And within minutes, she was like, oh yeah, of course, girl. So another story of how Trixie Mattel is a very sweet and thoughtful human being. She is giving me free entry to the show tonight. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm not saying that to like be like, look at how cool I am. Because quite frankly, I'm not cool. And that is one of my favorite things about myself. No, I'm saying it because I want to demonstrate again just what a truly lovely human Trixie Mattel is. First of all, she didn't even have to answer me. She's a very busy woman on a wonderful sold out North American tour. She didn't even have to answer me in the first place. But she did answer me. And she is gracious enough to give me a ticket to come see her tonight. She's probably gonna hate me for mentioning it. Don't sue me. I should tell the people what a lovely person she is sometimes. Because I don't know. I'm not gonna get too high up on my soapbox here, but I've noticed that when people become successful, people feel a certain entitlement to that person. And Trixie is not unique in that struggle. I mean, that's true of anybody with any kind of success in entertainment or pop culture. She seems to be under scrutiny sometimes, like any public figure. And I'm not saying don't hold successful people accountable. I'll just say this. Trixie Mattel is not Jeff Bezos. She's not Elon Musk. She's successful and she's doing well for herself. I feel like some people make her out to be like this ultra wealthy, I don't know, super villain. And I just don't think it's fair. Because as someone who has witnessed her journey from not the very, very beginning, but she and I started drag around the same time, within a couple years of each other. And I repeat, no matter who we're talking about, like, it's important to hold successful people accountable. No one should be exempt from accountability. But I don't know, there's just always people who like talk about her in her comments, or like, I don't know, it bothers me. It bothers me because I know that in her soul, she is a very sweet and supportive young lady. She's not the ruling class. She's just an entertainer who has found some success in her field. And I just think it's important that we remember things like that. And that's all I have to say about that. So let's get back to the makeup. I have done about as much as I can do on the eyes right now. So now I'm gonna start in on the face. God, this is so weird. I've never used this kind of makeup before, and like, it feels so interesting. It's like, feels almost like Halloween makeup, but like nice. If I'm gonna use an industry term, it's like emollient. It means it's like softer and a little bit more oil-based. Doesn't feel super heavy on the skin, which, to be quite honest, is one of the reasons why I often avoid wearing foundation for stage makeup, because I can't stand the feeling of like oily, cakey stuff on my face. It like drives me up the wall. And yeah, I'm a barbarian who uses my finger. to blend my foundation. Sorry. Here's the thing. In addition to being cheap, if I'm buying a product and using it, I want to be able to use all of the product that I buy. And so when you put on foundation and you use a sponge or a brush, some of the product always gets trapped in the applicator. But if you use your hands, you don't lose any of the product. Oh God. Okay. We're going for it. We're doing it. We've come this far. We're not giving up now. Oh my God. All right. F it. We're doing it. We're making it happen. Things are happening. It's fine. It's great. It's fine. We're doing great. We're doing fine. Things are great. And they're fine. And they're great. They're great and they're fine. And we're just doing our best. And that's what's important. Okay. All right. Okay, now this is kind of starting to look like a Trixie Mattel eye. Once you do the white liner, it starts to feel real. Yeah. Yeah. See, I can't believe you ever doubted me. Okay, we're doing it. Is it perfect? No. Was perfection ever the goal? No, perfection is boring. We're looking for expression, joy. Oh, God. It's fine. It's fine. We're doing great. It's great. Great things are happening to good people. See, I knew when I started this that I was going to go through all kinds of emotions because the kind of makeup that I like to do exaggerated my own features and made me like sort of enjoy those features. So I'm not used to this kind of makeup at all. I got a taste of it when I dressed up as Divine for this movie screening back in, I think it was October or September. But this is so foreign to me. And first of all, I don't know what specific kind of delusion entered my brain where I thought I was going to be able to do this in an hour. I started this at 5:30. It is now 7:16. Okay, we've got some definition here, which feels right and good. That, oh my God, that brown is so blown out. I think I fucked that up. Okay, we're veiling a little bit. It's making things look a little less crazy. Trust the process, Dora. I'm struggling with the process. Where's my contour? Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, yeah. And then I know what I was forgetting. Stop the presses. It's still very Muppety. There's a Muppetness, a Muppetation to it. Yes, that feels correct. We're getting somewhere, folks. We're making it happen. Yes. This contour. Oh, can you tell I don't do this very often? Can you tell that this is not my comfort zone? Is that obvious? Maybe a little. Oh, girl. Spooky on a boots. Okay. What is that? What? Babies. This is starting to feel serious. Or is it? Or am I freaking out for no reason? I am so glad you cannot see my work area, which is just my bed, because it's grim. It looks like Scarface. It's just powder and regretful life decisions. I fear we may have gotten a little lost in translation, but it's makeup. What happened here? What's that? What's going on there? I don't know. This is grim. You know what? We're doing it. We're seeing it through, because one thing we don't do is quit. I'm not gonna quit. Even though we really want to. Fun fact. Do you know when's not a good time to try new products? When you're on a time limit. It's not recommended. Okay. The face is taking shape. Okay. I feel... You know, I'm not going to say anything yet because I know when I finish the black liner, that's going to make me feel better. I'm still terrified. I still have no idea if this is actually going to turn out. Oh, that reminds me. Okay, we got the white worm in the bowl of chocolate pudding, so we've done that. What the fuck is that? How did that happen? Now I get to try a new way of doing my eyebrows. Darlings, I don't know if we're going to come back from this, but I'm having a lot of fun. So I'm just going to focus on that. This is my favorite formula of black liquid liner. It's Epic Wear by NYX. And I'm going to see if I can salvage these brows. Okay. Well, this is definitely an impressionistic take on Trixie's makeup because the brush strokes are definitely there. We really made this our own, for better or for worse. Oh God. We're gonna keep trucking on because one thing that I refuse to do is give up. I really inherited my mother's stubbornness. Now that I'm getting the liner in, it at least you can see the vision. Now, okay. See, and she always says that. She says, you know, by the time you get to the liner, you want to quit. But then once the liner's on, you get it. And that is really how I feel. It is at least, like, you can see who I'm at least emulating. Is it a perfect replica? Absolutely not. Is it serviceable? Debatable. And that, for now, is good enough for me. I mean, sure. At the end of the day, you season with your heart. Now that the liner is on, it feels intentional, at least somewhat. This is my favorite pink lipstick. It's Superstay in Romantic. Trixie herself has used it. Okay. We're definitely, okay. Is it crazy? Yeah. Are we honoring the original? Sure are. I think I know why it's taken me so long to like feel comfortable in this. We haven't done blush yet. And any true fan of Trixie knows that pink blush sets off any look, but specifically a Trixie look. So I have this pink blush right here from this crayon case. It's called the Blusher Binder, and I just know it's going to be insane. But that's what I want. Yep. That was it. That was the missing piece. I mean, okay. See, okay. Now that's some motherfucking Trixie blush. Dora got her groove back. I'm going to briefly show you these handmade lashes that I made myself, because look at them. They're amazing and so Trixie. But in the interest of time, because it is almost 8 p.m., which means we have been going at this for 3 hours almost, I'm going to put the lashes on, put the look on, and I'll see you on the other side. Alrighty, this is the final look. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Anyway, I'm gonna go and check out Solid Pink Disco. Thank you so much. It was so incredible. I can't get over it. Thank you so much for joining me on this attempt to pay homage to Miss Patricia's iconic makeup. You know, it's not bad. It's been several hours and I'm not melted at all. So I consider that a win. If you like what you saw, please consider subscribing. I can't promise you regularly scheduled content, but I can promise you that everything I post is going to be fun to watch. Check out my other socials. Check out my link tree below. Just thank you again. Bye, darlings.